So, Johnny, we talk a lot about the past, but it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks for both of us, isn't it? I mean, you've been doing plenty of auditions.
I know, well, it's all over Zoom these days, the auditions. They're either over Zoom or you have to self-tape.
Right.
I mean, it'd be all right for people to know what they're doing, but I mean, it's a learning curve, how to edit, how to send the tape off and this, that, the other. And I had to do this one last week. Wait for this. It was for Holby City.
Right.
And the spec was somebody about 70, like an aunt lad.
Yeah.
I'm a bit older, but it's not bad.
But if they put a makeup, make you look older, that's great. Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And he had to be Welsh and he had to be an excellent tap dancer. I said, somebody's written this for me. Having said that, I haven't heard a word since. Because who knows, you might be in an auction with about 25,000 people. I mean, it's unbelievable. But it looks like it could. Anyway, I just spoke to the agent now and she said, well, it's not a no-no yet. They haven't told us no yet. She said, so who knows? I said, okay.
Did you have to show that you could tap dance? Did you have to go into the garage?
Yeah, you had to show. So they wanted a demonstration bit of a tap dance. So I put one of my old tap dances on. I did in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Tudor, take 3. Tap dance, Melbourne.
And then the dialogue, the little bit was done in bed because I'm supposed to be having heart problems. I'm talking to the nurses and the doctors. And then I pick up my tap shoes and I look at them lovingly. And I'm supposed to be earning money for the NHS, see? By tap dancing, see how many beats I can do. So the next bit, I'm tapping like hell and talking at the same time. Hello there, yeah, I'm sorry, got 250,000. I mean, you've got to be fit to do this gig. So, when they say 70, you get some old codger, he ain't going to do it. He'll collapse. You'll have a real heart attack. At least I'm still fit. So that was that.
Right.
I do loads of them. I mean, you just do them, there's no problem. In the old days, you had to go to London and audition and it used to cost you like 70 quid by the time you get them back, have a meal, whatever, and 10 times so you didn't get it. So this is even better, really.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing you. And if you do it wrong on your tape, you can do it again and get it as good as you want before you send it to them, see?
Yeah. And you do actually get yourself into if you're in a bed scene, you can actually go into your bed. That's brilliant.
That's what I did. And I'm lucky in this house with Owen as well, because when she does an audition, I do the old other lines, so she's got something to bounce off, and vice versa. So when I'm doing it, she does the other lines.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I did one for her, and she got the part. Bang!
Fantastic.
I mean, she's just done a pilot for a situation comedy called, what's it called? Oh, blinking heck.
Oh, the one with Mike Bubbins, is it? I'm trying to think.
That's him, yeah. She's done it, and she's got that, and she's done it.
Lovely.
And then they ring her up. They're always ringing her up now. She's been working her socks off this year.
Yeah.
More than me, which is all right. I don't mind.
Well, you haven't got time for it, Johnny. You're too busy doing a podcast.
I'm doing the podcast for you every week. I've just done an hour with my Spanish teacher. My head's sprung, but I've had a traumatic morning. I was woken up by Alwyn at 7:30 this morning. She said, I think the cat has died.
Oh, no.
I said, what? So we go in, the poor old cat, he's on his bed in the kitchen and he's dead as a door. He must have had a heart attack.
Oh, my God.
Looked like he died in his sleep, poor little thing.
Oh, wow.
So that was that. So they had to go and bury him in the forest behind me.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call from Alwyn, who's taking the little kids to school, and said, John, the car's broken, you have to go and pick me up. I have to go in my car and get her. Oh, it's been a hell of a morning. So it's nice just having a breeze with you and have a chat.
Bit of a chat. Because, it is funny, these things, isn't it? We've become so used to them. I mean, we've been sort of progressing things. We've been getting new microphones, new headphones and all that sort of thing, and lights.
Yeah, lights.
I suppose the whole world of our industry has been doing the same thing, isn't it? It's getting itself up to speed with some of this new technology.
Well, that's right. Well, I've noticed this new computer of mine. I can do videos on that better than I could on the old one.
Right.
I can actually stop and pause it and carry on. Whereas when I did it with the phone, once you've done it, if you go wrong, you've got to stop and start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, with this now, I can stop and start it. But I haven't got it to the gubbins of it yet. But there we are.
Yes. Well, I've had a bit of a... Did you like my suit? Did you like my...
I loved your suit. Yeah,
As I rest my head to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if that he should come before I awake, my soul to take.
You can play Father Christmas next year. Well, you got the beard, you got the red suit. No, it looked very nice. When did you get it?
Well, you know what? I came out of TK Maxx with it, and everybody laughed. Well, they're not laughing. Well, actually, they are still laughing. Actually, yeah. I got it on a special deal, and I thought, well, do you know? Because we're in show business, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, and
you want to be noticed, mate.
Because the normal thing, I would have normally worn a black suit, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
no, it was great, man. It was more lively. It was vibrant, wasn't it?
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Me and you against the world.
They don't even seem to care. They don't think God is anywhere. But I'm in love, safe above, in heaven.
It's like the joke. Do you remember that joke that Bob Monkhouse said? He said, they all laughed at me when I said I was going to be a comedian. They're not laughing now. He was very clever, was Monkhouse.
Oh, he was really. You know, and the funny thing is, you know, you never know. It's a bit like you with the Gavin and Stacey stuff.
Aye.
You know, I've already been having emails from around the world for something like Songs of Praise.
Well, you would do, yeah.
It's sort of quite surprising, really. I mean, obviously, I'm not giving them the money, and, and I'm not going to apologise. No, but
well, the thing was the internet now. See, they can plug into anything, can't they? So you're seen everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
That's the worry.
As I rest my head to sleep, I think about the child I used to be. A simple faith gets torn apart, and disappointments break a heart. But looking deeper when I can, I see the child inside the man, still in love, safe above, in heaven.
I still get at least maybe an email every week, or maybe 2 a month about Fireman Sam. You know, I sound to Fireman Sam, and obviously there's a lot of kids who grew up with Fireman Sam.
Well, that's right.
And they get to their 30s and they go, "Oh, I have to get in touch with him."
Why not?
And my kids, when they were growing up, because I think I did it in 1984, so before I had kids, and then it was on the telly while the kids were growing up, and they used to be embarrassed. And now, you know, when they're in the London parties, it's one of, my dad sang Fireman Sam. You know, it opens doors for them in London these days, Johnny. Does your past come back to haunt you?
Oh, always. I tell you one thing that came back to haunt me when I was, I think I was 20 years old. My first summer season, first time I'd been really away from home on my own, and I was doing this summer season in Skegness, and I had a romantic appointment with a girl there who stalked me a bit. And I'd forgotten all about her. She's found me on Facebook. So she's probably a grandmother now. But I mean, there we are. Back to haunt you. Can't hide.
Other friends of ours now have been busy. Mike Doyle's been busy. He's got a new record out at the moment, raising money for charity, which is lovely. Should we play a little bit of it?
Aye, why not?
Okay, let's play a little bit of Mike Doyle.
I have seen the face of kindness, nurses working night and day, risking lives while saving others, a debt that we can never repay. I've heard the voice of kindness, doctors saying it's okay. I believe them when they tell me they won't leave me, they will stay. Willing me to find that
was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a good singer, Mike. He had a good voice. In fact, you know, he could have just, I know he's a comedian, but I mean, it's a funny thing, show business. People like to put you in bags. in America, you're allowed to do different things.
Yeah.
You know, you get your Sammy Davises and people that sing, dance, impersonate, play. They do everything, right? They're not put into a box. Over here, is he a singer or is he a comic? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mike is a very good comedian, but he's also a very good singer.
He's also a great actor. You know, he did that musical, for me, A Contender. And there's people like Hugh Jackman, because it's funny, isn't it? When you see Hugh Jackman acting in the Wolverine and all that, you think,
Yeah.
And then suddenly you hear him sing, and it is like you're surprised, aren't you? You're shocked by how talented he is in other areas as well.
There's a guy in Obi City, he plays the Italian guy in it. And I didn't know he could sing. And he did some big festival, the thing, I don't know what it was. It was a portage of all the different musicals they did online. And what a voice he had. I thought, but apparently he's done loads of musicals theatre, see?
Yeah.
That's
So
the thing.
you have to keep, you have to make a living, don't you? That's
Listen, if ever you want to tap dance in one of your shows, I'm your man, right?
Well, the funny thing is, last week I had a call from Holby City, and they asked me if I could do a tap dancing audition. I've sent them the tape, Johnny. I've no news so far, obviously, no news. So what's lined up this week then? Anything exciting in the Tudor household?
Always just had a call now from an agent. They're doing something up north, some series. I don't even know what it is because she just got off the phone.
Right.
She seems to have collared all these parts. I said, you collared all Maggie John's parts. I said, the cantankerous old bird. I said, never mind, it pays the rent.
Well, if you don't, honestly, if we'll go to court, if you don't play the 70-year-old Welsh tap dancer,
there's something wrong, isn't there?
I want to recount.
Normally, I don't care. Once I've done these things, so as you say, you do the audition, and I put it to bed. I've done that now. And if they ring me and say yes, at least, you know, and I don't care if I don't get it, because we know it's an auction, lots of people in for it. Yeah. But this one, it's got me written all over it. So, if I don't get it, I'm going to be watching. I'll be a good tap dancer, this bloke. Otherwise, I'm going to complain.
Yeah, it is one last thing before I let you get on with your life. But, it is funny. You build up to a big thing, don't you? Like maybe I'd been at the London Palladium. And the next day, when it's all over, there's a great big hole in your life.
Oh, I know. It's such an anticlimax, isn't it? After you've done something really big. Talking about the Palladium, that day I did the Palladium, I did a radio program with Jeff Love's orchestra, with a 60-piece orchestra in Aeolian Hall in Bond Street in the afternoon. Then I shot over to the Palladium, did my band hall, and did a show in the night. And the next day I thought, where am I now? Lucker Workman's. Because that's his game, isn't it? That's what happens. But it's great to look back on all these things you've done,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, actually.
We've been there, boy. We've done it.
We've been there. We've definitely got the t-shirt. We've got the tap dancing shoes. Well, look, have a great weekend. And we had a lovely podcast last week with Emily, so we need to get Emily back, if that's all right.
Yeah, well, I've been speaking to Em, and she's got loads of stuff she forgot to mention. And she's written all these things down. Some great stories.
Yeah.
I mean, things that happened in the house with Dorothy and so on.
Yeah.
I mean, things that only she can remember now, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And funny enough, with Em, she's only one of the only people I can now speak to about that era.
Yes.
Because they're all gone. I mean, she's younger than me, but I mean, she can remember because she was there as a kid,
Yeah.
And all these old pros we talk about, people like Mrs. Shufflewick.
Who?
Did you ever know Mrs. Shufflewick?
No.
It was a drag act called Mrs. Shufflewick. Most people of a certain age will remember her. She'd be on TV. It was a bloke. Yeah. And anyhow, Mrs. Shufflewick, he was a shoplifter. And he stayed with Dorothy, and to thank her, he'd give her a big present. I forget what it was, some sculpture. He'd nicked it from somewhere. I mean, they're characters. You couldn't make them up.
That's brilliant. All right, well, I'd love to all win.
I will, and you. And we'll talk next Tuesday. If that's okay with you?
Yeah, we'll talk next week then, and we'll get another podcast sorted. We'll get one last thing before you go. Bryn Yem. Bryn Yem's been in touch.
Bryn. Yeah, Bryn's a character. He's got some stories. I'm sure Bryn's got loads. Because, to be honest, when he worked at the Elmay, which then became the Stardust and then became Savage, he was the compere, and there were all these huge stars used to go there. Tom Jones was one week, Engelbert was the next. Neil Sedaka, it was that good. All the big top liners went there. And of course, he was there, see? But the thing with Bryn, he's a real salesman, He'd go on with 2 records, he'd go, yes, Tom Jones' new record is out now, sir, but this is my record, you can get this today. He's out of a boy. So we'll have a good laugh with him.
We got guests lined up into the future. Johnny.
Oh, hey, another one I thought of too. What about Sian Weather? No, Sian Weather.
Oh, Shannon Weather, yes.
But she's a friend of mine and she's great, and I'm sure she'd come on.
Right. Okay, well, let's...
We got them all lined up.
We got a list. We're not going to run out of things to talk about. All right, well, all the best with the audition. I hope you get the gig. And I'll see you soon. Ta-da.
Yeah, otherwise, I'm going to burn my tap shoot. Ta-da, boy.
It's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from him and all that.